I.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all rise for the pledge of allegiance, please. That way, Bob. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic on which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Even the firefighters couldn't wash the floor.
Hi, President, all members present. First item on the agenda tonight is consider approving the minutes held from November 19th.
I'd make a motion to approve those minutes.
Motion made, second by Mr. Nutting, all in favor? Next item up is to accept the memory. Do we have a presentation from that?
Yep, should I have two papers right there?
I do not have a paper. You have it?
You know, they go, those things.
This is something else.
Oh.
Sometime one is.
Some girl was telling me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, that's something about it. That's nothing.
Oh, okay.
What's it?
So we have Mike Tracy here tonight and.
I'll introduce
Okay.
the president of the Maine Chiefs of Police Association, Chief Scott Stewart, Brunswick PD. Came along with me this evening. And I hope most people know who I am. I'm now the executive director of the Maine Chiefs. That's why I just went to you, George, and with it. We already know that. Yeah, I told you what. That's not a lie. I do have a letter because we have a committee, MLEAP committee. And MLEAP stands for, by the way, the Maine Law Enforcement Accreditation Program. That's running through the Maine Chiefs Police Association. But I do have a letter that the committee gave me that I'm going to read to you because that's the best way to present it because it gives you the most information. Instead of listening to me talk all the time, you've got to have enough of that, I'm sure, over the years. So I'll do that. MLEAP was created during the 2010s by members of the Maine Chiefs of Police Association to assist Maine agencies meeting their professional obligations to the citizens of Maine. Our standards manual was first published in 2017 and is continuously updated. We are currently using edition 5, which is 164 individual standards divided into 12 chapters. Chapters are divided into specific areas such as administration, standards and conduct, training, use of force, law enforcement operations, evidence, and others. An appointed committee of chief law enforcement officers who active members of our association conduct reviews of an agency's efforts and awards accredited staff. The MCOPA contracts with a private company, Dirigo Safety, for program administration. Agencies voluntarily participate in the program, and the work done during the assessment is done by trained assessors. No agency charged for any of this work. It's all done in kind, with each home agency covering the cost of their own officers participating in the assessment. And it's a lot of work. Key goal of our program is to keep it affordable to encourage participation. There are currently approximately 40 trained assessors in our program. We partner with the Maine Municipal Association's risk pool, where the majority of Maine's law enforcement agencies purchase their law enforcement liability insurance. MMA has supported our program by funding legal reviews of our manual, and they provide individual agencies with $5,000 scholarships to assist them with preparing for accreditation. Accredited agencies who are members of MMA's risk pool are given an annual 25% discount on their law enforcement liability insurance premium. Agencies participating in MLEAP are required to use the required software that is designed to facilitate work being conducted remotely. Proofs are provided electronically by the agency being assessed, and our assessors, typically there are 3 on each assessment, can conduct a large portion of an assessment remotely at their desk within their home agency. The final portion of the assessment is done in person, with the entire assessment team visiting the agency to do the proofs in person, which require visual inspection. The on-site visit requires the chief of police to be present and to allow full access to all facilities and offices. We conduct visual inspections of administrative filing systems, inspect and audit evidence, conduct ride-along patrols, and interview staff members about how the department operates. Once the assessment is completed and everything is found to be in compliance, there are no exceptions. The team completes a report about their findings. That report is submitted to the MLEAP committee for review and approval. MLEAP committee is comprised of 5 active police chiefs, 1 sheriff, and 2 CEOs of state agencies. And that group is charged with awarding accredited status. There are currently 49 agencies participating in MLEAP, including Oakland PD, which is 31, or 31 are accredited. The others are actively working toward it. Chief Stubbert's application to the Oakland Police Department was accepted in September 2024. The on-site assessment was done on September 11th, 2025, and the assessors quickly agreed that Oakland PD was in full compliance. The assessors for Oakland were Chief Lee Miller of the Lincoln Police Department, Lieutenant Patrick Hood, Maine State Police retired, and Sergeant Rory Benjamin of the Cape Elizabeth Police Department. Chief Stubbert and his staff did an excellent job preparing for their assessment and were very professional, respectful, and helpful during the entire assessment. Chief Stubbert has a copy of the completed assessment report, which I assume give us an update. So I would congratulate Chief Stubbert. I'm very proud of Oscar. I'm very proud. You all know I was here a little over a year and a half ago, and this has been a long process. And each other kind of hard. His team, the officers have worked really hard. This is a huge accomplishment. It's something that I'm very proud of as a citizen and as former chief of the department. Done an excellent job. Graduate on the work with all of the department. So, yeah, thank you. That's quite Of course, it means a lot to get it to know what you need to this police department in this town. So thank you. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Next item up is a 3-year appointment for assessing the gold plan.
Yep, so every 3 years, our assessor is appointed in position, so have to swear her in at a different time, but we need an appointment. So
I'd make a motion to reappoint her for another 3 years.
Motion made second by Mr. Groder, all in favor?
it's always nice to be wanted. Yes, now she's gonna give a reval update.
Maybe we should have let her do that for us.
Too bad, votes already done. They're about 50% done with the visits to homes right now. KRT is. They have most of. I'm gonna explain it this way. Most of the rural areas are complete, and now they are working on the more downtowny urban areas where the houses are closer. So I do expect it to go faster because there's less driving and that kind of stuff, and more just walking down the street to complete them. As far as their entry into the system, they're at about 20% done of entering all that data back into the system. So it's a good start. I'm definitely going to keep on top of them as we get closer here to April 1st, because really that's what we're at. I do want to just remind you guys again, every time I get in front of you, I'm going to say it. We are not going to be able to meet that deadline for the August payment next year, the due dates. So we're going to either have 3 due dates or have to push back the 4 somehow. And if I certainly don't know the financials of the town, but if we do need to think about a tax anticipation note, it's better to think about it earlier rather than later.
We may need one because we have to pay September 1st, we have to pay our county $1 million. And typically there's 2 to 3 million in there. We may need a note. I don't know yet.
Yeah. But that's really all I've got, unless you guys have any specific questions about the reval that you were looking to have answered.
I have a question not about the rebound, but Kelly gave us a sheet here a while ago of the state evaluation that they sent for an estimate.
Yep.
Is this anywhere near close to what you're seeing?
I think that will be close to that number after the reval's done, yeah.
I think
I did review it when it came in.
yeah, I think we got a letter here that you looked at it and couldn't really
I didn't,
disputed.
I review all the sales that they include in there to make sure that they really look like good sales. I give them the sales that I think they should use and then they look at them and say yes or no. And so I looked at what they included and it looks appropriate. I couldn't find any errors or mistakes with what they did to it. And I know the process from before, so I did get their spreadsheet that had all the information on it, not just the printed data. So it looked good to me.
No further questions.
Awesome. Well, hey, have a great night, guys.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to your son.
Yeah, thanks.
Our next item up is a second reading of solar ordinance. Nate Smart.
There hasn't been any changes, in bar, so I guess we're just here for the second meeting of the February. Yeah.
Okay, you did it all set.
No changes, all set. Yeah.
If there's no changes, I'll make a motion. We call this our second reading of the solar ordinance.
Motion for me. This is a second reading, a second by Mr. Nutting. All in favor? Thank you. Next up, second reading of the public space ordinance, and I believe that is Aaron.
That's me. Only a few months later than we first talked about this. Kind of brought this up in July, I believe. But then I had my son, so I've kind of been in and out of the office and I haven't got a chance to go through it yet. But what I brought up the first time was allowing dogs at the boat landing, and then also allowing dogs in more open spaces at Pleasant Point. The gist that we got from the first reading was not to allow them at the boat landing, so we made no changes to the boat landing. That's going to stay as is, as they can only load their dogs into their boat. But then at Pleasant Point, we changed the reading up to say that dogs are permitted on the ball fields by leash only, so they're not allowed to be open and running around. Owners must clean up after them. Dogs are allowed off leash in the back area on leash in the designated dog walking area. They are under control. Owners must clean up after the dogs. The dogs must be kept by the designated swimming area, so they will not be allowed in the area that's for public swimming. But in the back area where there's some walking trails and more space for dogs to kind of go run free a little bit, we're allowing them to go back there. The only other changes and different ones here was adding the no alcohol and smoking, no consumption of alcohol and smoking on any of the public properties. Smoking had been on there before, but we added on alcohol as well. And then there's two spots, one at the public swim area and then one at the Sexton's garage, Fairfield Street Playground. Sexton's garage area, allowing no motorized vehicles there as well, because we had that on a couple others, and that was brought up the last time, was adding that to all locations to prevent motorized vehicles being.
Question, Dave?
The ATV trail, is that public, private, where does it fall into this? If we got,
Public, it's state owned.
so does any of this affect
No,
what happens on the trail or in the park?
Any of these public.
we'd have to go game ward on the trail.
More questions? No questions? Good luck with that little one for Christmas. That'll be fun.
I'll make a motion. We accept this second reading of our public spaces ordinance with the corrections that Nate has put on it.
Motions are made to accept this as a second reading. Seconded by Mr. Nutting. All in favor? Thank you. Next one up is accepting a donation for NEM Hall. Kelly?
Yes, we had an anonymous donation of $10,000 for Memorial Hall preservation. I would just like a vote to accept that money.
So move.
Motion for made. Do we have a second? Mr. Nutting, all in favor? Accepting 10,000. Kelly?
I'll abstain as chairman.
Thank you. There you go.
All right, thank you.
Next one up talks about the main trails bond update.
Yep, I will say too, we also raised about $1,000 Saturday at the Breakfast with Santa fundraiser that was held here from Memorial Hall, so. It was well attended, girls did a wonderful job. I made about 600 pancakes.
Thank you so much for all the help that you gave the making the pancakes.
Yeah, that was,
And Howard Hardy.
Oh, we're a good team. We're a good team. It's my banner maker. Yeah, but it's quick, easy money and it's fun for the kids and it's well attended by a lot of citizens, so. Main Trails Bond update. I did attach the award letter. As you know, we submitted a grant. Thought I did. We submitted a grant, $250,000 grant to do phase 2 of the ATV park and ride. And then that was about 155,000, and then we did about the rest of it, 99,000 or whatever, to the Meslotsky Stream Trail over here. And they scored all the projects. They had massive amount of people put in applications, and they funded a lot. They had $7.5 million funded. We did receive $151,024 to do the trailhead parking lot. So the Meslotsky Stream Trail did not get funded. So I guess I need a vote to accept that. We don't have the money yet. Won't start until March, April timeframe.
That's 151,000.
Yeah.
I make a motion, we accept that.
Motion made to accept that. A second by Mr. Dunning, all in favor of accepting. Thank you.
Couple manager updates. The transfer station committee met a couple weeks ago, and we talked about redoing a traffic pattern, an exit pattern at the transfer station. So instead of, when you back up for your garbage, instead of pulling out, going immediate to the left, we put barricades there, and the exit now goes straight down around the recycling building and out. So all traffic is going one way. Hasn't seemed to, we've been doing it about a week, and it hasn't seemed to cause an issue yet. People kind of like it. A couple said, "Oh, I wonder how long it's going to take you to do that." So, little simple changes, you know, make big improvements. So that's one thing. Mr. Groder. You want to do it?
Mr. Groda. You want to step up there tomorrow? Termination. That's law, buddy. Dave Groda, thank you for your outstanding years of service to public service and community to the town of Oakland. As a member of our town council, we wanted to say thank you. Thank you very much for your service. Thank you very much. Bob.
The all button that.
Oh, I may do that when I get older. Does he say this is an old man's sport?
Foreclosures. So I sent out a list of people. I have developed 3 payment plans. Two will be paid by the end of January. 1 will be paid by the end of May, beginning of May, I think. That's right. One lady I spoke with, she was supposed to come in and pay something and sign the payment agreement. And she's ghosted. She didn't come in. I've left her numerous messages. She won't answer my calls. I don't know what to do about that. One woman, it's her mother's property. Her siblings won't help her. She wants us to foreclose. It's on Wentworth Court. There's an issue with a Web Road lot with a trailer. The C-37 people that own the trailer park evicted the person in the trailer. Gave her 14 days to get her stuff out. She didn't get her stuff out. Guess there's a time frame where you have to empty your personal belongings. She didn't. It's boarded up now. I talked to her today. She'd like to get her stuff, but has nowhere to put the trailer or store the trailer or it. So she's not homeless. She does have a place to live. So I'm not sure what to do on that. And 10 Hubbard Street has had several violations regarding property maintenance. Nate and I spoke with them, said clean it up before December 1st, come in and pay something. We understand he just lost his mother. She usually took care of the taxes for him, and he did clean up his property, shoved everything in the shed. There's no sewer, no water. I know the cops have had several run-ins. I think we should take the property. I think the neighborhood is tired of it. So. Thoughts?
Thoughts, questions?
The first one, I'd send a certified letter.
Okay.
So they can sign for it, they don't sign for it, it's just shows that we made a valid effort.
Yeah, well, we did. I went door to door. I took Rick took me around to all these, but we had 11 places, so we're down to, I don't know, 7. I went around and left letters at every location, talked to a few people, found phone numbers for some, called one at work, finally got them on the phone. So we put in a lot of time with this. We did send certified letters and they come back, they don't sign for them, they're not there.
You've already sent one to the one he's mentioning?
Hubbard Street,
The first one,
The first one.
the one that goes to you.
oh, yes, I spoke to her like 3 days ago. I said, come in,
But no certified letter, right?
they'll certify
Yeah,
letters.
so
I could send her the payment arrangement certified.
I think you need a paper trail.
Yeah. I do have documented notes on that phone conversation, time, date, what was said, what was agreed upon. So. All right. And that is land and trailer. South Green Ridge Heights up off Husky Hill.
That's the one, going
No, that's the bottom one.
East Bone.
No, South Green Ridge Heights, the very bottom.
Oh, okay, all right.
No, the East Pond Road one, that was one we had, that was our only foreclosure last year and we didn't want it because it was just the trailer.
Yeah.
And we just left it. You know, and these are the 2023 taxes, so these people haven't paid 23, 24, or 25. So. So, Wentworth Court, she wants us to foreclose. So we can start that process. Webb Road. I'd like her to get her stuff back. And then maybe I can work something out where C-37 pays the back taxes. And the trailer's theirs now or something.
They own the lot, so all she owns is the trailer. So that's what we would have to foreclose on, would be the trailer.
Trailer, yeah. And she has no means to pay the back taxes or move the trailer or store it anywhere.
So if we foreclose on the trailer and we don't own the land,
We
would then have the trailer.
We would have.
Why would we foreclose? Why
I know.
would we just
Why don't we just let the people who own the trailer park buy them?
let the trailer park
Don't worry about it.
figure it out?
Right.
They can't do anything until they pay the taxes.
Right, but they know that if they can claim it as abandoned property.
Yeah.
And then they can say, you know, we would like to claim it as abandoned property. We realize that we have X, Y, Z to pay the town of Oakland. And they can try to make money off it later on themselves. Cause where we get to park it down the town garage? No.
As far as the belongings within it, I believe that it would be a civil issue where she would have to go for. Makes sense?
I think in general, people who are trying, even though they're not trying really hard, we should cut them a break.
That's our.
The people who won't respond at all, I'd take it. And then go through the process, except for things that we don't want to take, like trailers without lamp.
And tires.
Tires. Trailers without tires. Okay, so we'll take Wentworth Court. We won't take Webb Road. We'll take Hubbard Street. And I'll send a certified letter to Green Ridge Heights and Oaks. They sign. And she comes in and does something. We had it all worked out. It was gonna be paid off March 5th. She agreed to it. I wrote up the payment arrangement. Okay,
On that Hubbard Street one, if we propose on that, we can tear it down, right? You said it was pretty bad shape.
or we sell it as is, list it. I've already had an interested party
Is that right?
call about it.
So they have to be fixed up or demolished, one or the other.
Yeah, and I know. Sort of. Yeah. Almost. All right, so that's that. Budget discussion, I had sent around the list of people I wanted to bring up to $25. There were 5 of them. Is that okay to do? And put that figure in the budget? I think it was like $6,000 or $7,000.
I think one of the email or in my package, probably email, I printed it.
Yeah, it was emailed.
Want to look at it? Okay.
Any thoughts on it? Any questions? No thoughts, no questions.
Well, I'm good with it.
No question, I'm good.
Good with it, Bob? Good with it? Kelly? No, Kelly's not good with it. Okay. Dana? Well, we'll make a motion. Make a motion that, Kelly,
It can always be changed during budget season, but I put it in and film it.
It's always changed, put it down.
Yeah.
I put it in and then we can hash it out when we get the budget. Next discussion.
Thank you.
very good.
And then our downtown TIF facade program, applications are due January 15th. We don't have any yet, so I'm gonna take my little flyer and go visit all the businesses in the downtown TIF, so I'll be doing that soon. And then I think George. I'm good.
You're good. Kelly, did you have anything to,
Excuse me?
did you have anything tonight?
We're on the.
Next.
I just have a question about the police cruiser that's been sitting over there for several months. Is that the one that we had inspected at the street at Perkins or? It's been sitting there for several, yeah, it's out here.
This being used to spare though, it's not cheap. You like. It's not usually detected here. Yeah. Plan is to unbark it. Once they're failed. And use it. Right? But for now, it's a spare use when. Or lines for power. Items.
Okay.
It doesn't look like it's being used at the moment because some of that storm hasn't. Fallen.
Anything else, Kelly? Dave Groda.
I do have one thing, Nate, can you define, I know it's in the ordinance, it's off the top of your head, what's a junkyard? What defines-
Three or more vehicles on registered.
So High Street, the garage on the right-hand side, as you're headed up the hill. Have we looked at that?
Yeah, and because it's been allowed, because it's an automotive repair shop. So there is a definition in our ordinance, the junkyard ordinance does say that if it's an automotive repair shop, then they are allowed more. Now, every one of those vehicles being used as, or are they all being under repair? I don't know. So he was told years ago to put a fence up. And since then, the fence has fallen down. I asked him again this fall to put the fence up. So,
Try to look into that, maybe we might have a little bit more.
Yeah.
Maybe something else.
I think there's gonna be some. Yes, I will do that.
I just said there's leniency, but those are just stacking up all back.
Yeah.
It's not the ones out front, it's the one out back.
I didn't dispute it.
So, good. Thank you for allowing me to serve in our communities.
On the news this week, it said that, a lady that lives in the Blaine House down there let the law go into effect that very small police forces weren't allowed to assist ICE. I'm not sure the wording of it. And we heard tonight what a professional police force we have. And I wonder what the penalty is if we do that. I don't know enough about the law to know if there's a penalty built into it or not, but I just can't believe we don't want to assist with that. If it's going on in our town and something might go south and you never know what's going to happen when that's taking place. And I just think our police department ought to be informed and maybe be back up a little bit, or at least be aware that it's going on. So if they're out patrolling and they come across something that they haven't heard anything about, to me, that's could get them in a mess. So, and I don't know what the penalties are for that if we ignore that law, but I don't know if they built penalties into it or not. But if they didn't, I think we ought to ignore it.
I know there are going to be penalties. I don't know what they are yet.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I'd like to speak to that if I could.
Go ahead, Mr. Trailer.
I think y'all know me, Ross Bailey, I didn't follow book 25 years, but anyway, I'm recommending to the council that we immediately file an injunction against the state of Maine with a lawsuit based on this, telling us our law enforcement, they cannot help ICE. I'm sure there's several grounds that we can come at them at. Even if we end up ultimately losing in the end, we may win, but even if we ultimately end up losing because of all the Democrat judges in the state, I think it's worth trying. I'm sure that our both officers wouldn't want to be having their asses hanging out in the trees and having another law enforcement agency just basically say, we ain't helping your ass, you're on your own. And I'm sure that these gentlemen out here, these officers would love to be able to help another fellow officer when they need that. Well, everything I've heard in this law says that if they do try to help ICE in any shape, form, or matter, that there's penalties for that. Well, to be blunt, my bottom line is tell Janet Mills to shove it up her ass.
Not for the language.
Well, I won't speak like that again, but that's, I'm pretty heaved on that. But like I said, I think we should do whatever we need to do to file an injunction and lawsuit against the state of Maine. There's several grounds I actually found online, just Googling things, and I'm not even a lawyer. If you'd like to hear a couple of them, I can read them off to you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Bob.
I'm looking at the law, which will become, well, it's not a law yet, but I'm looking at what will become law at some point, and it doesn't, I don't see anything that mentions penalties. So that's to be determined later. The law won't go into effect. Actually, there's some argument about whether it will go into effect three days after the legislature convenes. The legislature convenes on the 6th, I believe, of January, so on the 9th, it may become law, or it may not become law until 90 days after the session is over. The session won't be over until the end of April, so May, June, July. So there'll be lots more to hear about it. I don't think there's any point in doing anything legal to it right now because, in fact, nothing has happened yet. All we know is that the governor has said what she is going to do. So let's wait and see what really happens and when it takes effect. My opinion.
You know, I think tonight we heard something that we already have known, that we've got a very professional police department. And I just can't reason why they shouldn't know something like that is going on, because they know all the frequent flyers in town. I mean, they could sit back there and make you a list of everybody that probably ought to be arrested if they could find them doing something that they could catch them at. And, you know, they know who they are, and they know the town, and they know the people. So it seems kind of ridiculous to me to have a professional police department sitting around and not being involved in something like that, or even told that it's going on. That could be dangerous. So,
Chief, any questions? If you don't, I don't want to put you on the spot. If you want to say nothing, just hang on.
I'm ready for the law again. I know I know initially it said we can't participate in investigations or participate in any operation. I understand all that. I'm unclear on what our role would be if police authorities or anything out the extreme for help if we get busted. I can't imagine why help in that situation. So I need to get a little more educated on what the final bill says. Not really sure yet. So I need some clarification on that.
Good question, PG. If you or one of the officers was doing the speed control, whatever,
Yep.
and a vehicle, you stopped and failed to light out with the excessive speed. And it was very clear to the officer that vehicle was supposed to be illegal. Now, with this law coming into effect, you wouldn't even be allowed to ask them what the immigration status is. You'd have to turn your back and let it go.
That's my understanding.
Yes. Now, that same van full of illegal immigrants comes into town and, I don't know, put up on me, shoots up the damn town, or crashes into a car and kills some family with a bunch of kids in it. Then your officer's gonna have to deal with the fact that, hey, I actually had a chance to stop that, but I couldn't stop it, so I didn't stop it. Now the family's dead.
Right, on the immigration ground, no, we wouldn't be able to do anything as far as that goes. We could find other reasons to get if there was something else, yes, but to answer your purpose, your question, yeah.
And I mean, as far as not being able to check the immigration status of anybody, my understanding, when an officer pulls over a vehicle for any violation, there's a couple of things they always ask for: some type of ID, driver's license, or registration for the vehicle, right?
Yeah.
Well, if they're an illegal immigrant, odds are they're not gonna have any of that. Now, if it was a US citizen you pulled over, and you knew it's a US citizen, but you had no ID, what would be your stat? If you couldn't prove who you said he was.
Well, if you didn't have a driver's license.
Yeah, you had no idea at all,
We could still invest in that.
but you couldn't do it with the illegal immigrant
No,
by this law.
right.
So you'd have to send him on his merry way.
Yeah, well, so he said it's about that. So he's not driving away. If you didn't get a driver's license, he's driving out.
But if he's an illegal immigrant, and you're not allowed to ask him to show ID, show a driver's license.
We don't go into hypothetical situations all night.
Well,
George, we can go into hypotheticals, what if, chief, could you keep us updated on this? And where we stand and we're here to help you. Being a police officer, I remember an oath. Say it again, sir. Good. I remember an oath we took a long time ago. It says, I will always uphold the Constitution of the United States. My community and the agency I serve. Thank you, gentlemen, for your job, outstanding job. Congratulations to all you police officers. And do the right thing. You know, our Constitution comes first and sometimes that political stuff gets in the way. So I do want to thank you all for that. How's that? Next thing up, if there are no discussions at this time, I'd like to enter into executive session under 1 MRSA 4056L. Time now is 6:39. I will
Make a motion that we do that?
second if I did. Thank you. 6:39.